Hey, good morning, everybody. Adam here. Good to see you all this fine Saturday morning. Looking forward to chatting all things business, marketing, answering any questions that you have. Also, trying something new this morning. I recorded a trailer for the live session, but fun fact, I actually don't know how to play it. So I recorded it, uploaded it to the YouTube live platform thingy, but then I used different software. And so I'm really curious. Did you guys see it? Did it happen? I'm guessing no, because I think we're just live now and we're diving right in. So let me know if you happen to see it. That'd be fantastic. If not, I'm going to have to find a different way to play it because it sort of goes over some basic suggestions for the best way to ask a question and make sure that it gets answered. So with that said, well, let's start saying good morning and saying hi. It happened when I first came in the stream. Oh, Katrina, it's Katrina, right? I'm gonna remember good here. Remember well. So that's cool that it actually worked. That's exciting. So I wonder then if any of my early stuff when I logged on first. I'm gonna have to watch the replay again and we'll see what ended up happening here. But that's super cool if it happened to him. Avik, good to see ya. And the lady writes, Katrina, if I remember correctly, good to see you here this fine Saturday morning. And yes, absolutely. Make sure that, how do I get this next comment? There we go. Hit that like button, get the pen, get the paper, get the coffee, etc., etc. Kevin, my man, I don't think it would be a live stream without you here, my friend. You've been regular and it's amazing. So it's good to see you here this morning. And Cow as well. I hope I pronounced that right. Cow? Probably, right? We'll go with that. It's good to see you, buddy. Glad you could make it here. And, okay, yeah, apparently the trailer played. That'd be awesome. Patrick, good morning, man. Good to see you here. Hey, mate, my name is Ander. Encantado to meet you. Encantado a conocerlo. Is that how we say it? Pleased to meet you. Thanks so much for the valuable knowledge you're sharing with us. Really appreciate it. You definitely make learning digital marketing as fun as it can possibly be. I appreciate that. That's my secondary goal. My primary goal is to just make it so that you learn digital marketing. My secondary goal is to make it fun because I've gone through some pretty boring marketing stuff in my time. And marketing should be fun. That's why we're not doing accounting. No offense to accountants. Tilk, happy Saturday. Absolutely. Elon, hey, good to see you. And I remember correctly, Katrina, perfect. We're getting good. And I've got Alex from fabricating sheet metal, etc. We'll see if he tunes in here. Who else can I remember? We'll get the other names. Alvi, good to see you. Got a marketing agency. Will I be able to acquire clients this month in December? Because a lot of people are telling me that I will be able in January. Yeah, of course you can. People still do marketing. Now, different industries, different markets have up cycles, down cycles, points of the year, and seasons and other sort of market influences that are going to affect it. The term that we use here is pestle, and it's political, economic, social, technological, legal, environmental. I think that's all of them. And all of those factors are going to influence your business and your rate of client acquisition and what's happening. So yes, there is a slowdown. It's like, what is it now? December 17th. Like we're heading into the holidays and Christmas and things like that. So trickier, maybe. That's it. Everybody kind of goes away. So I find that it's a great time of year to make more content and get in front of more people because less people are doing it. So yes, you can do it all year, but there are going to be times of the year where it's going to be easier than others. Vitor Borges, do I think a 13-year-old, reposition my awkward chair, do I think a 13-year-old or 14-year-old can start a marketing agency? I do. Yeah, I do. I've known some pretty with it 13 and 14-year-olds that have their stuff together better than a lot of 40-year-olds that I know. So age is not as much of a factor as you think. I think the big thing is going to be really backing it up with proof and case studies and testimonials and essentially looking and acting incredibly professional. It will be possibly a challenge, but it might also be a point of differentiation, especially if you position yourself as marketing to say your peers, your colleagues, Gen Z. It's like, look, I know this market better than anybody else because I am that market. So yes. Let's see. Matt Trueblood, hello from Northwest Detroit. Hello, Matt. I was talking to someone, I think it was a couple weeks ago, about Detroit. They're saying it's making a comeback. Happy to hear. Not doctors. I am also not a doctor. Hey from the UK, cold, snowy, miserable. Sounds like Canada. Yeah, we have much the same weather, although it's warming up here. It's like 5 degrees Celsius, which is 40 Fahrenheit. I'm in like the Hawaii part of Canada, which is the most southern part you can possibly get, and it's still a bit chilly. All right. Do I watch Pat Sajak? Not regularly. Good morning from Cleveland, Ohio, Jennifer, Genetic Media. Oh, that's perfect. I like that. That's a good thing going together there. Good morning, Jennifer. Good to see you here. Giselle, a lot of people from Florida here. Yeah, we often have a really good representation of Florida. It's actually, I don't want to say it's surprising, but it's interesting. The diversity that we get and like the pockets of people that show up or at least make themselves known. So we often have like a lot of people from, actually Detroit is a popular one, a lot of Florida. South Africa often shows up pretty strong. UK shows up strong. So if you're not from there, represent. Drop where you're from. It's pronounced like Kyle. Man, that is good to know. I was not doing that right at all. So do I say it Kyle? You're gonna have to spell it out for me. Kyle? Kyo. We're going to go with that. Kyo. I like it. Amir, hey, good to see you. And yes, Elon, we do have someone else from Ohio. All right, Luciano, hey, Adam, in America, people use more Instagram or Facebook? Ooh, good question. So if you're targeting US customers, do they use more Instagram or Facebook? So the easy answer is Facebook. Basically everywhere, people use more Facebook than Instagram, but depends on your demographics. Facebook, like normally the line that I draw is like 35 years old. So if you're targeting 35 and up, like we normally go to Facebook, it's kind of probably edging more towards like 40 and up now to Facebook, and 35 to 40 and under, we go Instagram. But it's going to depend on your market. If they are more female than male, males tend to skew slightly more to Facebook and less active, and females tend to skew slightly more to Instagram and more active. But yeah, the very similar platforms anyway in regards to, well, they're both owned by Meta. So you can often make a post on one and like it automatically shares over to Facebook. Reels are a good example of that one. Mart Dobre Arano. Looking forward to absolutely. Hello in Piestany. I think we have one. I think you're the only one from Piestany there, Mart. So awesome. Josh from Wisconsin. Very cool. Very cool. And Kyo. Thanks for everything. It's my pleasure. Thanks for being here and for the questions. It'll be good. Stephanie, good morning from Arkansas, which takes everything in my body to not say Arkansas. It just, everything wants to just scream Arkansas. So here we are, Arkansas. Shaw, hey Adam. Last time I've asked you about how to deal with clients on a call, and now I can talk to anyone on a call. Oh man, that is awesome to hear. So yes, if you happen to miss it and you're struggling with your sales calls, or you want some tips on how to do better on sales calls, check out last week's live edition. Talked through basically a script or a framework that I use in order to frame the conversation right, to make things a little bit easier. So fun fact, one of the main reasons that I got into marketing was that I didn't like the idea of sales. I've changed. I like sales now. I think it's an important and integral part of doing business, but at the time I didn't like it. I didn't like being pushy or sleazy or salesy or all the things that I thought you had to be. So marketing to me was essentially doing sales en masse to a larger amount of people, but doing it in advance. So by the time that someone showed up on a sales call, I was really there as the expert and the authority. I was able to ask questions, diagnose problems, provide a prescription to them, and things got a whole lot easier. Danny, yeah, right on. Mr. Sajak. All right, Bruce, good morning from Denver. Always look forward. Hey, Bruce, good to see you here. Glad you could make it. Yeah, we've got a couple from Colorado as well. Christian, hey bro, buen español, regards from Colombia. Gracias, mi amigo. I'm working on it. It's getting there, slowly but surely. It's good to see you here. All right. Price Variety Collections. Good evening from Kenya. Oh yeah, we have a few from Kenya always tune in, which is awesome. I need to grow my Insta page. Would you help, please? Let's see what we can do. So for starters, the big thing that I want to put back on you, and I'm going to give you a better answer. This is not just a cop out, but the question is like, well, why do you want to grow your Insta page anyway? Is it to get brand deals? In which case, yeah, they probably do look at the number of subscribers and followers and people that you have on it. But is it to grow your business? Because if so, there's probably better uses of your time and energy than focusing just on building up like a following for the sake of building a following, especially because organic reach on platforms like Instagram and Facebook and basically most of them other than TikTok and YouTube right now, I don't know, they're kind of iffy. So not my favorite platform in order to like build up a following just for the sake of that. That said, if you do want to do it anyway and you have your reasons, and obviously I don't have all the specifics on your business and your goals and that, the secret there is going to be a combination of quality and quantity, which it kind of always is. But you're going to be looking at reels right now, stories to engage with your existing fans, and then also look at carousel posts for the feed. So I'd be doing like one carousel post a day if I could, one every 2 days at the least. I'd be doing reels 1, 2, or 3 times a day if you can squeeze it out. And stories basically as many as you can to see what's getting engagement, ask a lot of interactive poll type questions to try to sort of juice the algorithm that way. All right, Peter, what is the best platform to do digital marketing for a coach, consultant, and how should I go about it? Ooh, okay, so the best platform to do digital marketing for a coach, consultant, and how should you go about it? So that's a huge question. Now, by platform, I'm going to assume you mean like channel. So whether we're talking like Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, or should you do email or build your website or your blog or a podcast or whatever it is. Basically, there is no one perfect one because it's so dependent on the type of clients that you are doing coaching and consulting for. So that's going to be a factor. I talk about this pretty much every single time and in most of the videos as well. The platform that we choose to use is mostly based on the market that we're trying to serve rather than the offer that we're trying to make. So you've got to figure out who are the people that you want to attract, where are they present and active, and then you need to go there rather than trying to figure out like whatever it is that you sell and what platform is best for that. It's really all about your people. That said, if you can do video, you're going to have the most flexibility. Short form vertical video right now is popping off. So you get the most bang for your buck that way. But again, yeah, it's totally going to depend on where your people are. It's going to be very different if you're targeting 20-year-old females or 60-year-old males or 35-year-old professionals in urban areas. Like all of those are going to have different platforms. Luciano, thank you for everything. You're helping so much with your videos. You're inspiring. Oh, thanks for being here. I'm really glad that you're enjoying and finding the videos useful. That is awesome. All right, my friend. Adam, would you mind quickly explaining how to set up your website so they can be tracked by Facebook Pixel with a sale conversion? Yeah, super simple. Literally, so you need 2 things to basically track a sale conversion with a Facebook Pixel. You need a website/landing page in order to install the Pixel. It goes in the head section of your website. So the little bracket thing says head in the middle. You'll be able to find it on most places. Then you need your Facebook ad account and you need to go into Pixels and you need to basically get your Pixel code. There's a number of different ways to do this. There's standard events, there's custom conversions, there's these new ways of setting them up that are supposedly easier and more intuitive. I don't think so, but they're there. And you can basically put in the URL of what you want to track, and then you just literally install the code and make sure that your pixel's on the page. And then from there, you can set up a custom conversion that marks the event as a sale, and it'll attribute as correctly as possible. So yes, a bit nerdy, a bit technical, totally doable. Kaio, Adam, why did you choose, here, let's move you around. I've got all these stuff in front of your stuff there. Why did I choose to create content as a public person instead of as an agency? Do you think it would be as effective to create content as Adam if you had a local business instead? Oh, great question. So this is essentially the age-old question. Should you build your business around your personal name or around your company name? I'm going to give you the generic answer, and then I'm going to give you my personal answer. The generic answer is that there's no one size that fits all. Like personal, business, whatever it is, they're all kind of the same. Your name matters probably less than most people think. Like we often think that our name and our logo is just so incredibly important. Maybe not as much as you might think. It depends on your goals a lot. So do you have the goal of growing and scaling and selling? In which case you obviously have to go with a business name because it's hard to sell your personal name. Or do you want to keep this thing forever and just run with it and have fun and build a lifestyle business or whatever it is you want, in which case you can go with your personal name. So that's sort of the grand strategic overview. My personal reasons are knowing a little bit more psychologically driven that people don't like doing business with businesses, but they like doing business with people. And by using your name and putting your name and your face on what you do, you're attaching way more credibility, way more relevance, way more authority, and you're essentially saying that, look, I stand behind what I do. Is it right for everybody? Absolutely not. But for me, it was actually a strategic advantage to build it around the content, at least around my personal name. Now, when I started my first local marketing agency, I gave it a business name because I wanted to sound bigger than I was, and I thought it would help. And did it? I don't know, maybe, possibly. I still put my face all over everything, so I wouldn't say that it was... I wouldn't say that one way worked out better than another. All I will say is that, if you can put your name on something, it just tends to do well. And yes, can you start a marketing agency or do anything as a 13 or 14-year-old? As Katrina says, yes, teens can do all the things. All right, Matt, I want to start a YouTube channel for my software company. As you should, my friend. Should it be in the perspective of the company or me personally? Oh, that's awesome. Good timing. I don't know. Hopefully that last answer answered a lot of this. There's really no like one size fits all best approach for it. It depends on how engaged and involved with the software company you want to be and what you view it as long-term down the road. So a YouTube channel is like this weird thing. It's like, it's not a business, but it's also not like a personal brand thing unless you're like a YouTuber, which is, we don't talk about that as much. So it's like, all right, so what are you going to do? Well, if you want to scale it and sell it, you should probably start it as a company. And then when the company sells, you can also sell the associated YouTube channel with it and all the followers and engagement, et cetera, et cetera. If, however, it's based on your experience and your involvement and your knowledge of software, then do it that way. I mean, if you look at like a lot of the big figureheads of massive companies, like you look at, who would be the good ones? Obviously Tesla with Elon Musk. You look at Richard Branson with Virgin. You look at, who else did we have? Well, we had Steve Jobs back from Apple. Tim Cook's not doing quite as much. You've got, who are the other guys? Jeff Bezos now, Amazon. All these guys in the past kind of hid away from the spotlight and they were just building their companies in the back. But now they realize the value and the importance of a personal brand. They realize how much it grows the company as well by doing this. And a lot of people have followed suit. So I don't think you can go too wrong. My preference is probably to do it under your personal name, but I also have a video on the channel called How to Name Your YouTube Channel, or pick the best name for your YouTube channel. That'll probably give you a little bit more details on finding the right answer for you. Alvi, thanks. You're amazing. Oh, you're amazing, my friend. Thank you for being here. Only with the information I have from the Digital Marketing Academy, I'm already doing $10K a month, and imagine only a $400 investment if I can remember it right. Yeah, I think it's I think the course is $300, but still, whatever the case, that's a good ROI and good for you. That's amazing. I'll put a link to it as well. This video is not sponsored, although I guess it sort of technically is because that's the course. But regardless, dude, that's awesome. Good for you. So I'm glad that you found the content useful, but I think you've also got to give yourself massive props and a huge pat on the back for going out there and actually implementing the stuff. It's one thing to go through a program and to learn all the information. It's another thing entirely to actually apply it and get those kind of results, which are fantastic. So awesome. Good for you, dude. That's fantastic. Gerson, hello from nice warm Tampa. More Florida. Absolutely. Isabella. Hey, from Brazil. Hi, Isabella. Oh, I don't know any Portuguese. I had a friend who spoke fluent. Actually, I've got a couple friends that speak fluent Portuguese. I should learn how to say hi. Good to see ya. Bernie. Hey, Adam, I'm following you from Haiti. Bonjour. I used to speak French, and now that I'm learning Spanish, I forgot all my French. Comment ça va, mon ami? Está bien es bien en Haiti aujourd'hui. My question is, what should a social media marketing freelancer focus on for 2023? All right, good question. So there's been 2 videos I've just released on this with some trends and some things like that going on in 2023 and what you should be aware of and things that you might want to take advantage of. My advice for, like, if you really want to build a better social media marketing agency 2023, it's probably going to be the same. Here, let me shrink you down a bit there. It's probably going to be the same as it was for like 2022 and 2021. It's going to be less tactical and it's going to be more strategic. It's going to be finding a way to tie and correlate and match up your efforts as a social media marketing, digital marketing person with a ROI, a return on investment for the business. So I'd like to say that long gone are the days of like just doing social media marketing for likes and comments and shares and like vanity metrics. They're still here, but that's not the future. People are getting smarter that, hey, marketing should probably deliver an ROI. I'd like to think that I've played a role in that, sort of trying to abolish this nonsense tomfoolery of building up audiences for the sake of audiences that just make us feel good but don't actually drive business growth. So if you can find a way to do that, and you can make sure that you're offering services that your clients want, but also position them in a way that's going to grow their businesses in a tangible, measurable, accountable way, you can write your own ticket. Life will be good. All right. Elon, later in the stream, I'd like to see how you apply psychology, biases, and marketing in your content and website. Well, we could do it right now. We don't have to wait for later. I keep brushing my lip up against this microphone, and every time it goes shooting back. You could see it everywhere, all over the place. You could see it even as I'm doing this here. Not to be manipulative, but it's just because this is, in my opinion, the most natural way for me to communicate, by affirming the good things that you're doing. It's basically positive reinforcement. It's like parenting 101. This stuff came out in the 60s. Basically, you see good behavior, you encourage and reward it. You see bad behavior, you don't really give it much attention. You just kind of ignore it and leave it alone, and it goes away. So when I see questions that I think are good, I see success that you're having here, I want to acknowledge it because it provides the affirmation that you're doing the right things. This is good. Keep doing more of that, and then you get better results. It's perfect. The other thing that I try to do is show that other people are having success using the strategies here so that you'll be more encouraged to do them. Often it's fear of taking action and fear of failure that stop us from doing the things that we know we need to do. For example, where's this cheat sheet? This cheat sheet. This is basically, it's sort of like it walks you through a lot of the stuff that I talk about in the Academy anyway. But if you go through this, the model, the market, the message, the media, and the machine, and you really think strategically and carefully, and you do this, you will get better results. I promise you, I guarantee it. Like, you could almost not. It's kind of like math. Like when you do the right things in the right place for the right people, I mean, good things happen, right? So the key then is to encourage you to go and actually do those things and to overcome the self-doubt that you have. Because again, that cheat sheet's free. Like, it's just free. So you got nothing to lose by going to get it and like going through the steps and trying to make progress. Same with watching all the videos here. They're all free. So really it just comes down to helping overcome that. Anyway, a lot more stuff on the website. You can sort of go through it. The Academy page is probably a good example. You'll be able to see all kinds of different anchoring, confirmation bias, identity confirmations. I don't list them all out as you go through, but it's a good example. That was a roll. All right, not doctors. I have a book on Amazon, doing great, How to Get Out of Debt Without Paying a Penny. Good book title. I want to get more traction via Facebook ads. I'm banned from using my ads account. Long story. Any walkarounds? Or walkarounds. So, couple things. Number one is there's a million workarounds. We used to do walkarounds when we in aviation, like before you go take off in an airplane, you do what's called a walkaround. Now every time I see it, my brain goes there. There's workarounds for sure. You start second accounts. You open different business managers, different pages. I don't like that idea so much though, because in my opinion, Facebook ads are probably not the best for a book anyway. I don't really like Facebook ads for book funnels. Not today, not in 2022, heading into 2023. I think they're too expensive to generate a sale. I'd be looking more at two different things. Number one, identifying where your people are, probably based on that title. I'd say Facebook, Instagram, those would be easy, solid things. TikTok, if you can manage it. Then I'd also be looking, if you want to run ads, into any of the like native ads inside Amazon as well. That'll probably give you more flexibility. 70 finally caught alive, chiming in from Arkansas. Hello, Arkansas. Is that our second Arkansas? Or Stephanie, did you say hi? I can't remember from earlier, but that's awesome. And like I said earlier, every time I see Arkansas, I just gotta say Arkansas. All right, Abdullah. Hello, Adam. How many leads, meetings, and calls do I need to make in order to close a deal construction? Cool. That's a good question. It depends. But you've got to figure that out. But I'm going to show you how to do it because that's a crappy answer. What you've got to do is you've got to figure out your funnel. And this applies for anybody who's trying to do anything with marketing. We start at the end, which is obviously close a deal. Then we reverse engineer our way backwards. I call this funnel math. I talk about this in the Academy a lot. It's incredibly important. So we start off with a deal. It's XYZ worth dollars, whatever it is. Well, to get that closed deal, how many conversations do you need to have? Well, it's going to depend on your sales close percentage. Is it 20 to 30%, kind of an average for the general industry? Well, in that case, you're going to need 4 sales calls to close one deal. If you're really good, maybe you close 1 and 2. Well, now you need 2 sales calls to close one deal. Okay, so now we've established that. Now we need to take it a step further. Well, how many leads do I need if I'm offering like a lead magnet or a free giveaway in order to secure those sales calls? Again, let's just pull some random numbers out. Let's say that 1 in 10 people converts from your general lead magnet into a sales call. Well, so now we need 10 leads for 1 sales call, which means if we want, and we have a 50% lead to call conversion rate. I'm doing this all in my head, so this might get messy, but you'll understand the gist of it. So now we need 20 leads because we know that we're going to get 2 calls, 10%, and then we're going to convert 50% of those to 1 client. Okay, so now if we need 20 leads, well, how many clicks do we need? And so you can see how we're just going to keep reversing our way back through it, but you're going to have to figure those numbers out on your own because it's going to depend on how good of sales you are, how good your ads or lead magnet is, a ton of different factors. The general answer is, though, when you're first getting started, more than you think. So a lot of people go out and they make they do like 3 calls and they don't get any clients. They're like, this stuff doesn't work. And I was like, well, you probably need to do, it's going to sound crazy, so brace yourself. You probably need to do 30 or 300 to build up the reps and to figure out what to say and what not to say. And you're going to need to get a better lead magnet. You're going to need to run more ads and do more stuff. So a lot of people shy away before they've done what they need to do. All right. All right, Adam, what do you think about Google Performance Max for local business and YouTube ads for local businesses? I don't use Google Performance Max, so I can't speak on that one. That said, I like Google just general ads for local businesses. I think that's fine. Same with like optimizing the Google business page, all good. YouTube ads for local businesses, I like them if you can make a good enough YouTube ad. The reason is because our targeting is typically a lot cheaper than like mass international or whatever it is targeting. So yeah, I'm a fan. If you can come up with a decent enough local YouTube ad and you can come up with enough of them because you're going to need to rotate your creative, especially if you're targeting 10, 20, 30,000 people, like they're going to become ad blind to that quickly. We call it ad fatigue, where they just sort of burns out and has less effectiveness. All right, Mart, any experience and tips for promoting weight loss meal plans, new year, new body resolutions? I know you cannot show before and after on Facebook. Correct. You absolutely cannot. One sec, water break, and then we'll hit it. Refreshing. All right, so what do? You tread carefully, and you look at other platforms as well. So 2 things. Number 1, you're heading into January. Weight loss, new body, resolutions, all of that stuff. I mean, people are hitting this hard, like as hard as they possibly can. So all of your competitors are doing this as well, which means it's the most competitive time of the year. So you've got to kind of like step up your game a bit, while at the same time not ticking off the almighty powers of Facebook, who are going to be quick to like shut things down that are a little bit sketchy. So there's a couple things I suggest. Number 1 is familiarize yourself with their terms of service. It's going to make sure that you just don't say the wrong things, like doing befores and afters and things that you probably already know. Second, find your biggest competitors in the space. In like fitness, I'd be looking at like Beachbody. I'd be looking at like Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers, and look at the language that they're using, keeping in mind they often get away with a little bit more than us average people can get away with, because they've got a lot of ad spend and they've got different ads managers and they've got different team members working on it, and they've sort of like insider access to certain things. So keep in mind that whatever they say, we may not be able to say, but you can get pretty close to it. That's really it. And then you're going to have to test and brace yourself. The other thing is start focusing. This is going to sound a little weird, but start focusing on the next year, 2024. Use this year to build up your email list where you can say what you want without the restrictions, and start building up your audience on other more controllable platforms, including direct mail, possibly even basically anything that's not governed by an algorithm and their advertising rules. All right. Got that one already. Chris, great question. One of my consultants actually just sent me a message on yesterday, saying, hey, dude, you got to make a video on this because it's popping off right now. And I agreed. It's very interesting. Will ChatGPT supplant digital marketers? For those of you that are not familiar, ChatGPT is an AI, artificial intelligence, script writing, robot thing that you can ask it to do things and it will write stuff for you. It's crazy. What's interesting about it is that I've used most, if not all, obviously, most of the artificial intelligence writing services and programs out there. Some of them are pretty decent, but I think this one might be the best one yet, at least in regards to idea generation. So is it going to replace digital marketers? I don't know, maybe some like lower down in the skill level. Like if your job is to just go scrape stuff and like copy paste different things, totally. It's going to get rid of that job, but that's fine because that's rote, memory, boring work anyway. Will it replace the ability to like really hone in on a person and come up with unique, compelling content and script it in the right way and know your audience and know what to say and what not to? Maybe a bit, but not a lot. Like, it's getting better. So who knows in the future? For now, no, I think you still need the strategist to guide it in the right direction. You still need the smart thinking person to know what questions to ask and know how to rephrase certain things and put it in the right order and perspective. That said, I used it just the other day to come up with like, I might make a video on like 100 random marketing ideas for next year. And using that, I was just like, hey, give me 30 ideas. And 10 of them were horrifically bad, but 20 weren't terrible. I mean, there are probably ones that we could have just, you and I could have sat down and like hammered out ourselves, but it was interesting to see that a robot did that. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I think it's cool. All right, Jennifer, what's a good monthly price to charge for one-on-one digital marketing coaching? Ooh, I like the pricing questions. It depends. That's such a crappy answer. I'm so sorry. But like, who's your market and who are you serving? Typically affluent customers, large businesses are willing to pay more and almost want to pay more. Like if you charge them $10 an hour, they're not going to hire you because they'll be like, why are you so cheap? Depends on the experience and brand and portfolio and all of the things that you've built up to this point. So for example, back in the day when I was first getting started with marketing coaching, I charged, I don't even remember, it was like legitimately probably nothing, $10, $20, $30, like anything to let me help them. Then I raised it to $100 an hour, which at the time I thought was crazy. Today it's thousands of dollars an hour to do marketing consulting for companies. But again, that's just because of over a decade of experience and having worked with Facebook and Google and Adobe and Snapchat and like all of these other companies. All of that has gone into charging these rates. So I certainly couldn't have started charging thousands of dollars an hour early on in my career. It would have been crazy. I wouldn't have had the confidence or the experience. So I charged 10, 20, 30, 100. So start where you're at. Don't be afraid, and then you can raise it later. So what I'd like to do is fill up your roster, fill up your calendar with clients that are willing to pay the rate that you want to charge. Maybe fill it half full, then raise your rates. Is there still demand? Raise them again. Still demand? You're still booked up? Raise them again. And supply and demand will sort of allow you to establish a price point that you feel comfortable saying. That's the other thing is like, we often feel uncomfortable saying really high prices, but you don't understand that, like, for example, if I charge a few grand an hour and I help a company for 3 hours, say it's 10 grand they give me for a few hours, afternoon of work, and I go in there and I do a bunch of stuff for them and I make them an additional $3 million by optimizing their email funnel, by reviewing their ads, by making sure that they don't launch a terrible offer that isn't going to work. That's a really good return on investment. So again, it's going to depend on all of those things. Do you have a video on pricing your services? These are fascinating. You guys are asking good questions all in the same order. This is perfect. So yes, I think I do. I think I have many videos actually on that. I have some that are like relatively old that I should probably update, but I went through and kind of reviewed them again and they're still relevant today. So I think if you look at like pricing services, Adam Earhart, you'll find it there. The other one that you might want to look at, Katrina, is the how to start a digital marketing agency, because that has, I think, things on pricing as well. Even if you don't want to start an agency, the section in there will help. Jay, I'm happy this morning. Good man, because my digital marketing journey has allowed me to move out of my parents and on to the next chapter of my life, building my business. All thanks to your live Q&A. Dude, that's awesome. Dancing bear time. Well, that's sweet, man. I'm happy to hear that. Good for you. Congratulations. Again, though, I'd like to, first of all, I appreciate the kind words, and I'm happy for you to share your success with everybody else here. I think that's amazing. Also, I want to kind of throw it back to you, and congratulations, because it's one thing to know what to do and to hear what to do. It's another thing entirely to actually go out and do it. It's another thing entirely to show up at Saturday morning. It's 8 a.m. here. I don't know where you're at, Jay, but like Saturday morning, who shows up to talk about business and marketing? I'll tell you who. Winners, Jay, winners. So good for you, dude. That's awesome. Craig, I run a vegan retail store. The majority of our followers on Instagram, Facebook are also vegan. Should we keep doing vegan content? Not all our customers in general would be vegan though. Any tips? Oh yeah, great question. This is a great question because it essentially covers like existing target market versus potential target market versus who do we want to go into. So let me shrink that down. So you've got a vegan retail store. The majority of your followers on Instagram are also vegan. Should we keep doing vegan content? Not all our customers in general would be vegan though. Any tips? So customers to me matter more from a business perspective than followers because customers are the ones that vote with their wallets. There's a lot of people that talk a lot of stuff and they're like, yeah, I would do that. I would buy that. I would support you. That's great. Noble cause. But when push comes to shove, when it comes time for them to actually put their money where their mouth is, they go quiet and they disappear. Which is why I rarely listen to what people say, but I always look at what people do, always. So if my customers are mostly vegan, mostly like 60, 70, 80%, then I'm sticking with vegan content. That is clearly a point of differentiation that I really want to hammer down on. This is something that everybody loves, et cetera, et cetera. If on the other hand, my customers are 20% vegan and like 80% non-vegan, then this is going to come with a caveat. I would look at other kinds of content, but I wouldn't steer too far away from it. And the reason is because this is your point of differentiation. If you take away your vegan component, your vegan content, you become a generic retail store just like everybody else, which means you're bland, you're boring, you fit in, you're no different than anybody else. Why would they go to you? So to me, without knowing more about your business there, Craig, it sounds like the vegan thing is your entire unique selling proposition, your point of differentiation. So without knowing more, I wouldn't leave it, but I would take a closer look at who your customers are, your actual buyers. Are they vegan? What do they appreciate? Side note to this, the big important thing for you and for anybody else listening as well is it's really important to talk about the benefits that actually matter to your customers, not just the ones that we think matters. So it's probably the vegan thing, honestly, but like maybe it's not. Maybe it's the fact that it's just they don't hurt animals or there's no animal testing or there's whatever else it is, which you and I might know is vegan, but they don't use that term. And in fact, maybe that term has a stigma because they don't want to be that person and give themselves a label, but they don't mind being pro-animal. You get what I'm putting down, picking up what I'm putting down? Hopefully that made sense. All right, Jay, when dealing with small businesses with multiple locations, do you advise having a single main social media account or one for each location? Oh, good question too. These are good, guys. I wonder, let me know again. I think Katrina said that like trailer showed up before. Let me know if everybody saw it because I'm liking this. I think if you saw it, you're asking good questions. They're very good to answer. I think they're going to help a lot of people. So you've got a business. It's got multiple different locations. Do you have different social media accounts for each location? And the answer is, drum roll please, depends. Are they local businesses that are going to appear in search? So for example, if you had like a chain of local restaurants across a city, I would probably have different Google My Business pages for them to go to different locations so that they'll appear when someone's typing in like restaurant near me. Facebook pages, I'd probably just have one. Instagram pages as well. YouTube definitely just have one. The reason is it's going to be a lot easier to keep things consolidated onto one account. When you start adding 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 different social media accounts, all of them need content and managing. It becomes a headache very fast. So I like the idea of less. The only difference is if you're going to have unique sales or promotions or something like that are happening at very different locations, or they're serving very different markets or very different products or services or anything like that. So hopefully that made sense. My advice is one or fewer, unless you need to have like Google business pages or local Facebook pages or something that's going to have a local search component to it. Diana Caballero, what is your favorite lead gen funnel and offer for gyms? Ooh, awesome. I love gym marketing. That's That used to be one of my old bread and butters. I'm looking for a link here. Again, I'm going to have like a not sponsored, but affiliate link down below there. This is my favorite way to run it. And I'll tell you exactly what I do. I run a Facebook. In fact, I'm putting together a mini course, mini workshop on how to generate better leads. And it'll be aimed at like straight up lead gen. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more. But for now, I run a Facebook lead ad. So I go to Facebook. My objective is leads. I'm running it through an instant form. I'm putting out that ad using an instant form. I'm then sending that instant form through High Level. They have a gym snapshot there, so you don't really have to do anything. It's already installed for you. You just like literally click gyms and it'll have the SMS, the email, all of the follow-up that they want. But the big thing for me is I'm sending SMS. Normally I'm pro email, but in this case, I'm pretty pro SMS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them there. I'm going to follow up immediately with SMS that's going to make the next offer. So what kind of offer do I like? All of them kind of work. I don't mind free trials. I don't mind first 30 days free. I don't mind free initial session. I don't mind basically anything that's going to allow me to get somebody in the door, because getting them in the door is the hardest part of the entire process for a gym. Once I get them in the door, then I can present them with my packages. I can provide them upsells and downsells and cross-sells. And ideally, I'm trying to lock them in for like a year-long commitment and doing everything I can to support them so they actually show up. But hopefully that answers. But that's the secret. And it's awesome. And it works well. All right. What do we got? A hunter gamer. I want to start my digital marketing company. Should I learn first in social media marketing, the Instagram marketing? Is it easier than Facebook and TikTok? Okay. So it sounds to me, my friend, like we've got a little bit more exploring to do before we go start. So I'm glad that you're thinking about starting it. Fantastic. You should totally do it. But let's put that on the back burner for like the next couple weeks at least, because my advice here is you've got to go and sign up for all of these accounts: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What else did you mention? I think that's it. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Get in there, make a lot of content, look at a lot of content, and figure out which one you think is going to be the most beneficial to the people that you want to serve, as well as the most interesting to you. None of them are easier than the others. They're all just different. If there's one that's quote unquote hard, it's YouTube, but that's only because of the video component and the long form video. It's also the most valuable. So there's this other thing where it's like the higher the barrier to entry, the harder it is to get into it, the better the rewards. Right? That makes sense. I mean, if it's easy to do, everybody does it. And when everybody does it, we have supply and demand, and therefore supply is up and demand goes down and we don't make as much money. So I don't know. For me, I try to find the hardest one. And then I go there and I just spend, because it's not going to be that much harder, but you're going to get disproportionately better returns. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them are fine. If you're local style, Facebook and Instagram are generally more accepted by older school businesses. TikTok is typically a weak point among newer businesses, especially possibly even older businesses that understand the importance of digital marketing. The other benefit of TikTok is that you can also create TikToks, which can be used as shorts on YouTube. They can also be used as reels on Facebook and Instagram. So research, find, pick which one you prefer. There's really no better one. All right. Sufi Marketing, good morning from Pakistan. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. All right. Jay, where can I go learn more in depth about PPC, pay-per-click advertising like Google Ads? I'm terrible when it comes to calculating ROAS, return on ad spend, and other optimizations, analytics, data. Okay, so Google actually has free trainings on this, and they get pretty nerdy and pretty in-depth on all of that stuff. So take a look for Google free PPC course, and they're going to walk you through more information than you ever wanted. Pradana, hi from Indonesia. Hey, good to see you here. Thank you for your amazing content. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. Mosscode, I've been inspired by you to pursue marketing for my future. Any tips on how I can start learning while I'm still young? Okay, water break. It's a good one. Hang on. All right. Yeah, lots of tips. So many tips. So first of all, good for you. I think that's fantastic. In fact, I used to say that I'm biased. I don't even think I'm biased anymore in regards to my opinion on marketing. In my view, marketing is the single most important element to business success, but marketing goes so much deeper than that. In fact, my kids, I've got 4 little kids, and I don't know what college and university is going to be like in 20 years when they go, if they go, whatever it is, or whatever school looks like in 20 years. But I can tell you one thing. I would love for them to take a semester or 2 of like a first year business administration certificate marketing thing. Like, it doesn't have to be a formal education. They could do it online. They could do it through, I can put together books for them. But if they have like a basic understanding of like the first year principles, not year 2, 3, 4, all that other superfluous stuff, but like the basic stuff on like what targeting is and segmentation and differentiation and positioning and learning the basics of accounting and economics and things like that, you're set. Like, you're kind of set. I don't want to say for life. I'm not making any massive promises here, but things are going to be okay. Like, you're going to be okay because these are fundamental foundational skills that you're going to be able to apply to anything. So where do you start? Now here's where I am biased. Like, obviously my channel has a ton of stuff. So pen, paper, write down everything you can, watch all the videos, watch them a couple times. There's a lot of stuff in there. And I really don't hold much back. So it's kind of just all comes out. So you're going to get a decade plus of experience by going through that. And it's going to take you, I don't know, 40 or 80 hours. So a long time, but definitely worth it. From there, start looking at the basic marketing books. I've got a couple videos on the channel as well on like my top 5 marketing books or 42 books on advertising or whatever it is. Get those too. The other thing is start following kind of like the older school marketers that are, they've been around like pre-internet days, and they're also very ethical and authentic. So a big one for me is Seth Godin. Love Seth Godin. I think he's definitely one of my heroes, one of my mentors when it comes to marketing. I've read everything that he's ever written as much as I can. He's written, that was an exaggeration. I've read most of what he's written. He's written like a blog post a day for the past decade plus or whatever it is. I haven't read them all. Most of his books though, really good. A lot of his blog articles, all of his interviews, all of his speeches, they're available on YouTube as well. Seth Godin, good guy to know. Perry Marshall has really good stuff on 80-20 sales and marketing. Also very smart and articulate with how to structure a profitable campaign. I think if you start there, you're going to have more than enough info to get going. Dwayne, hey, good evening from South Africa. I was talking earlier about our South African presence, so I'm good to see you here. Glad you could make it. All right, Gerson Aravalo. I'm building a marketing team for my business. I have... we're going to rotate. I've got my screen here, and then we've got that camera there. We're all over the place. Building a marketing team for my business. I have a community manager and a graphic designer. I'm debating between hiring a copywriter or using Fiverr. What do I think? It depends on the volume and quantity of copy that you need, really. So community manager, good. You obviously have a community that you're doing a lot of stuff with. Graphic designer, if you can use them full-time, fantastic. I think that's good. I used to have a graphic designer all the time, and then we just didn't do enough graphic design. So for me, the priority was on video editing. Copywriter using Fiverr. I would decide how much copy I really need written. And also copywriters, like really good copywriters, they're tricky. They're tricky. There's a lot of aspiring copywriters, but like copy is one of the more challenging aspects of marketing to like be really good at. So it's easy to do, but it's really hard to do well. Like anybody can kind of write stuff and be like, we're writing copy, but there's a difference between copy and content. So content being just stuff that you're going to put out there. This is content right now. I'm not hard pushing or trying to convince or do anything like that. We're just having a chat. Copy, on the other hand, is designed to persuade and to inform and to encourage some kind of an action. And that takes skills and experience and study. So either way is fine. Just make sure that you've got enough work to make it worthwhile. And also you're going to probably have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find princess or prince or whoever it is that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to hire a bunch of different copywriters, see how they do on a short-term contractual basis, and see which one jives with your style and your presentation and tone. MD11, hey Adam, I'm 15 from the UK. My family is struggling financially. I'm sorry to hear that. My mother's very ill. I'm sorry to hear that too. I want to support her and family to set up my life, and I have no clue how to start marketing. I'm struggling. Okay, well, first of all, sorry to hear about the hardships. This is life sometimes, right? Kicks you right in the face and good for you for taking action, because that's really all we can do. We have two choices. We can sort of accept the fact that that sucks and there's nothing we can do, or we can do what you're doing, which is showing up here at Saturday afternoon and trying to improve your life and the life of your family. So that's awesome. Good for you. Now, what do? Well, first of all, you're doing the right things by being here, really. Taking action and trying to learn everything that you can is step one. My best piece of advice is to get a pen and paper notebook, like actual physical notebook, or just literally sheets of loose leaf paper, and start writing down everything you can. Every time you come across a new term, a new idea, a new tip, a new strategy, write it down. There's something that happens in our brains when we write things down using like freehand pen and paper. You're also going to start to build up a bit of your own personal journal / Bible on the world of marketing that you're going to be able to reference, and you'll be surprised how quickly you learn things when you go through this. The other thing is for the next, like, you're 15 now, so why don't we say, like, for the next 2 years, you're going to just work. Nobody likes to hear this. And everybody, there's a lot of people that don't like hustle culture that are going to get mad here. But my advice is to just like work your face off for the next couple years. That's kind of what I did when I first started marketing, and it worked out really well. So it's hard for me to advise anything else. But like 16 hours a day, like we eat, work, sleep, school, obviously do the things that you got to do. But you're trying to learn everything that you can. Once you've learned kind of the basics of putting together like a basic offer, you've learned the basics of social media. I think this is probably one of the easier places to start, would be organic social media, followed by lead gen. I'm going to be talking more about that. I've got some videos coming out on that as well. Those are easier services to offer to other businesses that are going to help you sort of start to build up experience and skills and get clients relatively quickly. Now, my advice is, you're in the UK, so if you found some local businesses, you could charge £350 to £500 a month per business to do some kind of marketing service, create content, set up this thing, post for them, do this, do that, whatever it is. Once you have like 5 clients, well, we're now looking at, what is that, £2,500 a month. Then you can possibly raise your rates to £1,000. And now we've got, say, 5-10 clients. Now we're at $5,000 to £10,000 a month. But then you should be able to do a lot of really good things. So yeah, I hope that helped. I understand it's a tricky situation, but you can work your way out of it by doing smart strategic things. So hopefully that helps. Wanja, hey Adam, I run ads on both Instagram and Facebook. The reach on Instagram very much higher than Facebook. What do you think I'm doing wrong on Facebook? Okay, so if you're running ads on Instagram and Facebook, the reach is much higher on Instagram. So you might not be doing anything wrong. You might just be doing something right that sits better with the other platform. That's really step one. The second thing is, like, reach, especially if we're talking about ads, we're not talking organic. So we got to make sure that we're clear on that one. Like, if we're paying money to run advertising, the cost and the reach is a factor of CPM, cost per impression, CPM, cost per mil stands for. So it's basically, how much does it cost me to reach 1,000 people? Different platforms have different CPM rates depending on the people that you're targeting on those platforms, the placements that you're using, the quality of the ad. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So really it sort of comes back to square one. What's my offer? Who are the people that I'm targeting? Where are they present and active online? Am I using the right placements? Is my ad good enough in order to have them give it more reach for less money? What a lot of people don't understand is that, like, a really well-written ad is going to give you significantly better returns, not just because it's a better ad and it converts better, but because people like it more. So the algorithms boost it a little more because they're like, hey, this is giving people a decent experience. So let's show it to more people and charge them a little less. So there's that. Hopefully that clarified some things there. All right. Let's see how we doing on time. Oh, we got 8 minutes or so left. Let's see what I can find. Jay, any advice on experience running SEO for a real estate agency site that uses software like Real Geeks or Sierra Interactive? Very limited access to backend. Yeah, so 2 things. Number 1, SEO for real estate is one of the hardest and most competitive niches to do SEO for. That's it, like, full stop. Real estate, law, legal, insurance, and credit cards, financial, and mortgage, which kind of falls under credit cards, financial. Those are industries that I typically do not recommend or will go into, simply because for us to do a proper SEO strategy, we're going to be looking at like $10K a month in regards to content and backlinks and all kinds of other things that we're going to need to boost this up. Again, if you take a look at like Moz Open Site Explorer or SEMrush or Ahrefs or Majestic SEO, and you look at the domain authority of the sites that are ranking at the top, they're going to be huge because there's a lot of money to be made. So that's not my favorite. If you can rank for like smaller neighborhoods, long tail keywords, yeah, cool. You can still do some damage there. As far as access to like their website platforms, again, there's not a ton you can do. They're pretty limited. I don't like them very much, which is why I'll often set up like a satellite site, a separate website. But then again, you're looking at a long time before that generates stuff. So I prefer Google Ads for something like that. Success Journal of a Broke something. Hey Adam, which camera do you use and how many people are working for you to generate beautiful content? Like one camera person, one editor and all. Yeah, right on. Yeah, my camera person right now. Say hi, camera person. So the camera that we're using right now is the Sony Alpha A6400. Sony Alpha A6400, A6400. It's older. They don't make it anymore, I don't think, but you can get a Sony A6600. This is known as an APS-C camera, which, fun fact, it's not the quote-unquote professional full-frame camera like the Sony A7 IV, the Sony A7S III, but I really like it. I've got a couple of them laying around. One here, one over there, one in the house. They're really good, and they're less expensive than the full-frame ones, and they give you a really good picture quality. But the bigger factor is the lens on the camera. So this right here you're looking at is a Sigma 16 millimeter lens. I've also got a Sigma 30 millimeter lens. I've got actually a couple of Sigma 16 millimeters. And they're great. But the reason that they're great is because they run at an aperture of f1.4. We're getting really nerdy here, but like that's what you want to look for. It gives you that kind of blurry bokeh background. As far as camera people, zero. I set it up. I do have friends and videographers and people that can help if I need to shoot on location. That said, I just get my family to help. They're good. They can hold a camera good enough. And I know what I'm looking for with lighting and things like that. I have had in the past professional videographers help set things up and go through whatever. My editors are also really good at telling me what lighting needs to be changed. I've hired lots of consultants over the year that have switched and changed up my lighting to sort of get it here. That said, I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. So I've got like one big key light here, big dome softbox. I've got one over there with like I don't know what it's called, honeycomb thing that makes the light come in this way. I've got a couple of these nice lights that provide this sort of orangey bluish thing in the background. We've got 2.5 video editors, so 2 full-time editors and one that helps when we need stuff. Also, I still do some editing if it's a skit or something that I want to have fixed up. We did have a full-time graphics design person, but we don't do much graphics design anymore. And that's the content side, I think. I think that's everyone. So hopefully that helps. When I started, though, that sounds way too fancy. When I started, it was me, just me. And I filmed everything, and I edited everything, and I uploaded everything, and we did just fine for the first little bit. So you can totally do that. All right, let's see. We've got a couple minutes left. If I can find anything else. What have we got? All right, Katrina. Mark Dawson is an author that mastered Facebook ads for authors. He offers a course, but has a lot of resources besides. I find it's better for fiction, though. Yeah, interesting. So obviously I can't speak about another course. I always say tread very cautiously at other courses. I don't know enough about them. I'm not endorsing anything else here. That said, there are some good resources out there. So obviously do your due diligence. Find someone that you think works really well with the kind of offer you're selling. I'd look at how old that course is. I'm actually kind of curious because it's tricky now to build up, to make sales of low ticket offers using Facebook ads. So if you sell a book for $20 and your cost per click is $1 and your conversion rate is whatever. We can figure this out real quick. But like, it's not 20%, right? So it's like, if you're going to spend $1 on a click and you're going to spend, I don't know, let's say $100 on ads. So you spend $100, you get 100 people to your landing page to sell a book, and your conversion rate, again, 20%. So you basically are going to sell, oh man, we're doing math again on the fly, I don't know, a book. So now we're losing money every time that we sell something, which is the complete opposite of what you want to do. Obviously, when you sell something, you want to make money. So I'm cautious of those things. I like organic for lower ticket stuff and building up an email list for it. But yeah, ads be tricky for that. Hey, Prithvi. Hey, from India. Hey, my friend. What are good books and sources you recommend for beginners? Yeah, I've got a video. I'm going to send you there just for the sake of time. Search Adam Erhart marketing books, 5 marketing books or something like that, and you're going to find it. Jay, this is a good question. How can I show a business owner that it's not bad marketing killing their business, but instead is problems with their business? Yeah, you tread carefully. That's how. It depends on the relationship that you have with the business owner. And it also depends on your level of experience and your confidence in it. So for example, for me, it's easier now, mostly because I don't need the business. So I don't mind telling a business owner, hey, this is actually the thing that I think is causing the problem. And then they take it. If it was a decade ago when I was first starting, I was like, actually, it's not me, it's you. That doesn't go over very well. So you've got to find a way to frame it and to position it, but it's an uphill battle. There's no real clear, easy way to do that, to let them know what it is. I would just basically frame it carefully. Be like, hey, based on what I think, I've brought this person in, this is what we think it is. Why don't we try this, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, tricky. Yusuf, yes, AI content software is improved. We still need human writers to check facts and post citations. Sometimes, not everything needs citations, but everything should be fact checked. So yes, not to mention, I think it needs to be phrased better. Okay, let's see if we can find one more. Doodle-doo. Here's a good one. Hey, Adam, my question is, can digital marketing make good results all the time, or it's not sure to have the same results all the time? Okay, so marketing is never going to deliver the exact same results all the time. And the reason is because there's dozens of variables that go into it. All of the variables. There's people, there's the seasons, there's economic considerations, there's algorithms, there's effort and energy and mindset and changing political landscapes and socioeconomic changes. There's recessions. There's so many things that go into it, which is why the best thing you can do is best practices. Know that you're doing the right things in the right place for the right people, and then do them consistently. And then, yeah, when things go up, you celebrate, you do more of that. When things go down, you look back at, hey, what happened? What changed? Was it something I did? Was it something in the market? How do I counteract that? A Hunter, oh, my pleasure, my friend. Yusuf, yes. Yeah, there's lots in there. Jay, everyone is a winner. You know it, man. You absolutely know it. Awesome content, Autumn. John from Denver. Hey, another Denver. Good to see you. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Find one more. One more. Obviously that one. That was important. We got to do that. Let's see. What is going to provide... Starting an apprenticeship. Where did you go? I'm here. Did I disappear? Yeah, no worries, dude. No, you can't put me on the spot. I'm unshakable. But good for you. I'm proud of you for doing that. Keep going. Keep it up. Ayub, good to see you. All right, let's do this one. I think this is important, and it'll help with a lot of people as well, because imposter syndrome is real, and it ain't going away anytime soon. In fact, if you didn't have imposter syndrome, you would have something that's even worse, which is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And the Dunning-Kruger effect is when you don't know anything but think you're great. It's the complete opposite. The imposter syndrome typically shows up when you know a lot of stuff, but you still feel that you're unqualified for the job. Anytime that you're presented with something new, you're going to feel imposter syndrome. That's life. That's literally how it goes. And in fact, the fact that you're feeling it, the fact that you're feeling possibly a bit of shame or embarrassment or guilt or fear, that's healthy. And if anything, if you channel it correctly, it'll allow you and inspire you to go and make sure that you're doing the right things. You'll be more prepared. You'll do more due diligence. You'll work harder. So a little bit of imposter syndrome isn't bad. Where things get bad is when it stops you from taking any action and it stops you from helping people that you're otherwise able to help. So you've got to remember that for you to help someone that's at this level, you don't need to be at this level. You need to be at this level. You need to be ahead of them in a certain area. But that's it. You don't need to be better than them at all of the things. That's ridiculous. No one is. And you don't need to be 1,000,000 times better, because often that can make it more challenging. In fact, one of the biggest challenges that I've had in marketing and with making videos is not going off on what I call my nerd tangents, because I love this stuff. I get so excited, and I'll often end up down these random rabbit holes, and then we'll look back over the video and I'll be like, none of that made any sense, because I just get so excited about all this crazy stuff. But it's not helpful, because it's only going to help once you're at a certain level or you're running a certain kind of campaign or whatever it is. So the fact that you're, say, at a more a starter level, a more beginner level, you actually have an advantage, because you have recent experience with what it felt like to not know what all of this stuff means, or however you're helping people. So again, do you know a little bit more than someone else? If so, you can help them. Then you just basically, especially if you're doing it as a service, you can price accordingly. So that'll also help to overcome imposter syndrome. There's an expression that I love that says confidence comes from evidence. So it's your job over this coming week to go out there and to start build up a sufficient pile of evidence for why you're good at what you do. I guarantee you've got a track record of success in some areas of your life that you're going to be able to port over to whatever it is that you're doing now. You're also going to be able to start creating content and building up experience and creating the evidence that you need in order to build the confidence to smash that imposter syndrome right in the mouth. Okay, it's pancake time. I gotta run. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Those are amazing questions. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words for the content and also for each other, all the support. Make sure to keep building each other up. Share your advice and your ideas with each other in the comments. And we'll see you in the next video. And otherwise, we'll see you on the next live. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. See you in a bit.